Good morning. So we are continuing with the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4. We had completed till verse 14, in which Sukdev is talking about the Yadu dynasty and those who are associated with the Yadu dynasty. So which means you will find that the Pandavas, Kauravas, everybody was associated with the Yadu Vansh. There was a great war which got fought, which is called the Mahabharata. And later on, when Parikshit became the king, he was saved by Sri Krishna in the initial stages when he was in the womb of his mother. So this is the story. And naturally, he is associated with Sri Krishna directly because Sri Krishna saved him. And those who are associates of this Yaduvansh are also the devotees of Sri Krishna. This was mentioned. Today's satsang is all about the glories of Sri Krishna. So we are going to understand the different glories of Sri Krishna in today's satsang. So let us begin. We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, verse 15. Let me offer my respectful obeisance unto the all-auspicious Lord Sri Krishna, about whom glorification, remembrances, audience, prayer, hearing, and worship can at once cleanse the effect of all sins of the performer. So here, Sukdev is telling us that those who are associated with Sri Krishna in some way or the other, these people who actually are there in front of Sri Krishna when he was there, and later on when the devotees of Sri Krishna are there, remember the glories of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna's glories can be understood from his childhood, from his birth till his passing away. That is more than 125 years had elapsed. So anybody who listens to their stories, the Leelas of Sri Krishna, or remembers that Sri Krishna's stories, or has had audience with him, has done prayers to him, has heard about him, like you all are hearing this Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't know whether any of you all know that the original idea about spirituality, which is called the Sanatan Dharma, in the earlier stages was also called as the Bhagavat Dharma. So listening to the Bhagavat by itself is a very, very great plus in your life. You will definitely attain your objectives if you were to listen to this Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam are the glories of the Lord, the different avatars that he has taken, and just listening to the stories by itself can make you attain your ultimate objective. Yesterday I had given you all some understanding about the objectives, so you can attain those. And here he is mentioning all these things which are called glorification, remembrances, audience, prayer, hearing, and worship. That's the last one which we have to cover. When you worship Sri Krishna, it will remove all the sins. See, when we say sins, it doesn't mean the karmic debts. Please remember one thing, karma, whether you like it or not, has to be repaid. What are the sins? Sins are transgressions in our life. Transgressions could be that our thought by itself could be very dangerous. If I think about somebody in a very derogatory fashion, or if I am giving that person some bad words in my mind, I may not be performing an action, but yet I have committed a transgression. Somebody says ki I just get thoughts about these kind of things, but I have not done anything wrong. Well, thoughts are disturbances. Please understand, thoughts are responsible for creation of very, very big companies also, isn't it? Think about it. How did your Apple phone come into the existence? It's because somebody thought about it. The aeroplanes, Wilbur and Wright brothers. So they came up with this kind of a thing. It's all the thought processing which leads us to some action. In our case, we think about certain things. We look at something and immediately the thought comes, ki, oh, this person is worthless. Oh, he is not good. She is like that. They are like this. It's a very common thing. So thoughts could be a part of the process of what we say as transgressions or sins. So there are lots of sins that we perform which we don't even know. In my Gurudev scripture, there are certain other sins which are mentioned which we don't even know we do. We perform these actions so very fast, we actually don't understand them. It's like, sir, now I'm moving my hand over here. There are billions of creatures which are getting pushed around. Think about it. If it is a tiny creature and if I'm pushing that creature, it could die, isn't it? Just with one slap like this. Correct? So we have a lot of these kind of things. We eat grains. When we eat grains in the form of maybe a bread or maybe chapatis or rice or food grains or something like that, how many millions of creatures get killed? When they are crushed in the in the crushers, in the mills. Now you buy grains from in the form of, say, flour, wheat flour or whatever other flour. How many creatures are getting killed over there? We actually have no ideas. The giants have this idea that they are doing so many sins, and that is why they always move in a different fashion. But we do this kind of things and we don't even know that we have performed. Think about it. I am sitting on a chair. If I have to take a cross section of a very tiny piece of the chair and put it under an electron microscopy, I will find that there are billions of small creatures. So these kind of sins which are there are not understood by mankind. Even when I close and open my eyes, I am throwing away so many of those creatures. So these are multiple things that are happening. We have absolutely no idea about it. These things are called Kuli, Chandani and all those kind of, they are different names for these kinds of things. This has been mentioned in our scriptures in the past. We don't go into it because we hardly give them any attention. So here, one of the ways of getting out of those kind of minor transgressions is mentioned over here by being associated with Sri Krishna some way or the other. We do move to the next verse, verse 16. Let me offer my respectful obeisance again and again unto the all auspicious Lord Sri Krishna. The highly intellectual, simply by surrendering unto his lotus feet, are relieved of all the attachments to present and future existence and without difficulty progress towards spiritual existence. Now this is a very good way in which you can get out of your cycle of rebirths. See, we are always trapped in the cycle of rebirths. Sanatana Dharma teaches us that we are going to be reborn somewhere or the other. What womb we are going to get can never be decided by us. We are not the deciding factors. When we die, we have to go through a process where the divisions happen. You are given a certain womb which you are supposed to take up. Now that need not be necessarily a human womb. It could be any. So if you want to have a certain amount of control over what you do after you pass away or whatever that happens in this world today, can you cut down on those activities? See, today, if let us say you have a high LDL, okay, this is a kind of a fat. The doctors will look at your charts and immediately say that, okay, you have to cut down on the oils and fats and ghees and butters and this and that. Don't they say those words? It is just a preempting that your LDL level should come down. Isn't that how it is mentioned? And then you have to eat healthier food. So in this life also, the sins that we perform, the kind of karmas that we do, we need them to be removed from our system. So the Guru advises you certain things to do in your life. He says, perform these actions. What are those actions? We have covered them in some other scripture. One of the things action meant over here is simply by surrendering at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. One of the actions is mentioned here. What are the other actions? Being kind, compassionate, loving, caring, becoming charitable, giving in charity, those kind of things. These are certain things which are going to take care of some amount of your karma, some amount. Here what he is saying, let us say in your complete life, if you are an intellectual person and you understand what is being taught just now over here, the highly intellectual, simply by surrendering at the lotus feet of the Lord, are relieved of all attachments. I want you to know these words. Relieved of all attachments. What does it mean? When you are relieved of the attachments, what happens? To present and future existence without difficulty, progress towards spiritual existence. So your progress happens if you can get rid of these attachments. Think about it. In yesterday's day or day before yesterday's day, a lady was burnt here in India. Now, the answer given by the people, her parents said, she was 9 years she had been in marriage and they are asking for the Mercedes Benz and all those kind of things they mentioned. So naturally they, bride burning stuff like that happens here. It's a one of a case. In 1.45 billion people, one case is there. Now think like this. Why is that attachment to the car? Why is that attachment to that woman? That woman was doing a lot of stuff in YouTube and she was in Instagram and she was a hairstylist or whatever. She used to run a beauty parlor in her house. Her husband and her husband's brother did not like the two wives, that is his wife and the other one's wife. Both were sisters married to two brothers. They did not like this. So they were telling them, don't do this because Instagram means, there's a stigma attached to all these kind of things. So when they said, and they are saying now that she met her end because of some other reason. Now, I want you to think about it. The attachment to Instagram, the attachment to the wife, the attachment to the husband, the attachment to the family. Why is the family interfering? Because of attachment. Why is the husband interfering? Because of the attachment. If the husband was doing something like this, the wife is not supposed to speak about it. The idea is like that. And the wife is doing, the husband is definitely pointing it out. I mean, there can be millions of reasons why things happen. But if you want to overcome this kind of a nonsense, which happens in your personal life, can you get rid of all these attachments that you have? A simple attachment that I want XYZ item only. You know how children are, Children will insist that they want something only. Now you tell them that suppose there is a balloon or there is a toy, some kind of a toy. The child says, I want that toy. Now, it could be a Labubu doll, that I was discussing about last time. The Labubu dolls have become very famous. but they are very expensive. So some other will be there, Lagaga, Lululu, something like that, some other doll. Now that may be 1/10 the price of that. And suppose as a mother or a father, you give that doll. Your child gets very upset. The child says, no, Dad, I asked you for the Lububu doll. You are giving me some other. You understand what I am saying? The attachment to that object is so high that a person doesn't want to get out of that attachment. It is also like buying some kind of a stuff. I want Mercedes car. Really? But if I want to give you say a Maruti, what is the problem in life? At the end of the day, you may not even have any difference in your life. See, think about it. Recently, I had a person who came over here. This person was driving a car which is 15 years old. Okay. Now, this man is capable of buying a BMW or even a Mercedes Benz and all that. So I asked him, oh, you haven't changed your car. He says, this is a very, very good car. I want to keep it. I said, then, but you also have a BMW, isn't it? Yeah, my BMW is taken by my daughter to her college. I am driving this 15-year-old car and she is taking BMW to college. That BMW is a very expensive car and she's taking it to college. So why? Oh, that is because they have to move around in different circles. In my case, though, I am anyway a worker. I work. So it is called attachment. Even if you have a 15-year-old car, you are still attached to it. If you have a car like a BMW and you are still holding on to it, you are still attached to it. No. Today you may drive a Honda, you may drive a Toyota, you may drive a Maruti, you can drive any car. What difference does it make? It should not make any difference, isn't it? But no, if you are going to keep on sticking to it, no, I want this only. You are not doing anybody a favor. So these are called attachments. So the intellectual people, those who are intelligent, they are not getting attached in the material world. They will not insist that I have to eat my food in this place. You can give them food anywhere. They will be happy to eat it. You can take them in whichever form of transportation. That is okay. The wife may say 100 things to them. You are like this, you are like that. They won't even listen to it. They will, whatever work that they say, they will do it. Aren't there people like this? They are not attached to the object. So when you are a devotee of Sri Krishna, your attachment is only to Sri Krishna. All other material worldly attachments go away. Think like that. How does this sound to you? Now let us say you are a young college grad. You have a girlfriend. You are attached to this girlfriend, correct? At that moment in time, are you thinking of other girls? No. Are you thinking of some other, extracurricular activities with some other person? I don't think so. You are centered onto this girl only, isn't it? If you want to give a gift of even a rose, you will give it to this girl. You are not going to give it to somebody else. Now, when this is a single pointedness in your own love affairs, we are talking of love affairs with Sri Krishna. The devotees of Sri Krishna are only in love with Sri Krishna. They are not having, attention deficit syndrome, going and looking here and there and there and there. Today we have a lot of people in this world, The questions are these, oh, I love Sri Krishna, but I want to go and pray to Shiva. I want to do Ganesha. I want to go and do Hanuman Chalisa and I want to do this. Hanuman Chalisa you want to do? So how much attention you are giving Krishna? You want to have 4 girlfriends? Simple answer. None of them will be happy. Please remember this. No Ganesha will be happy. No Hanumanji is going to be happy. No Ma is going to be happy. I pray to Kalima, but I also pray to Shiva, and I also pray to this one, and I do these prayers and I do that prayer. Sorry, boss. Single pointedness. Even in your personal life, if you are a married person, do you think you want to have 4 wives or what? I don't think so. You can't manage one. Why are you going to have 4? Did you understand this? That is why it is mentioned a highly intellectual, simply by surrendering at Krishna's feet, are relieved of all attachment, present and the future, and without difficulty progress towards spiritual existence. Just a moment. Thank you. So, don't have too many gods and goddesses to pray to. Just hold on to that one deity, divinity that you are into. Since we are talking of Sri Krishna over here, just hold on to the feet of Sri Krishna. Don't keep on having your multiple choice questions and answers, okay? So we are doing the next verse now, verse 17. Let me offer my respectful obeisance unto the all auspicious Lord Sri Krishna again and again, because the great learned sages, the great performers of charity, the great workers of distinction, the great philosophers and mystics, the great chanters of the Vedic hymns and the great followers of Vedic principles cannot achieve any fruitful result without dedication of such great qualities to the service of Sri Krishna. So many things he has mentioned. The learned sages from the past and the present. The great performers of charity. You are doing charity also. See, lots of people do charity. Today morning I was talking about one of the, Swamijis that we know. Now, he feeds more than 1,000 poor people per day and across India. And I was really happy, and I was commending him for doing that kind of a thing. Plus, he also gives clothes and other things. So whatever he collects in charity, he passes it on further. And nowhere is his name ever written. Sometimes he goes over there. So, when you are doing charity, if you are feeding 10 people, these 10 people should be worthy enough. They got to be hungry. Please remember this. You can't feed one of your good friends who is already having a big tummy over there and saying, oh, I gave food in charity to this idiot. Sorry. We are not discussing those kind of people. Giving friends your food and all that has no value. No. Those who really deserve, you have to give in charity. Alright? See, our organization is also there, which is involved in charitable thing. We have to, first we are setting up the temple. So temple is important. Because my Gurudev has already instructed me that we need to build this temple. That is why we are doing it. Also, we are going to involve children's education. So we want to fund children's education. We want to teach them. There are lots of things that have to be done. So charity has to be given to the right direction. You can't give charity for the heck of it. See, there are lots of these kind of things which come in your mail and in your email also. Oh, we are doing this. We are planting trees. We are taking care of eyesight and all. Go to that particular website and see how many people have they actually cured. I used to be, going to one place earlier. This used to be an organization. This is funded. When I last went there many years ago, they had got a $3 million grant from abroad. Now, earlier they had a very small room. The moment they got the grant, They went into their own premises. The interior design of that place, including all those things, it cost more than 50 lakh rupees. So I asked that person over there, sir, you got this grant. You are an education, you give a free education to children. How many free educations you have given so far? He says, no. I have these 50 children whom we are training in the whole year. So we are going to improve their, standard of living by $3 million so that you can improve only 50 children's problems and you can sort them out. What kind of idiot are you? Now, I used to go there because somebody whom I knew used to work in that organization. So I used to meet that person. I walked out of that place when he told me how he is doing this kind of a thing. Now that is not a right thing to do. What kind of a charity are you running then? You're putting money in your own pocket. This is not correct. So those who are the great performers of charity, the great workers of distinction, when you work in this world, this work which you perform should not be, you should never get accolades for it in the first place. Please understand. If you are going to get some Nobel Prize or you are getting some Booker Prize or this prize or that prize or Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushans, all these, no. Nobody has to recognize your hard work. If you are doing hard work and if you are putting in effort so that you can get some kind of a, certificate or, some kind of a big celebration in your honor and all, don't do that, please. You are not going to reach any heaven over there. Straight away, when you reach the last stages of your life, Yamdeva is going to look, oh, you already had enough publicity in your life. Go to hell. See? He is going to say like that. Please remember this. Because all your publicity stunt people are going to go to hell only. Those who want to always be in the limelight, like they want to be in the picture. Have you seen? Those people are surely going to go to hell. And you really think the devil over there is interested in them? He wants to be in the limelight. Why will he ask you this other person to be? He is going to make them work. Go work in that, foundry of mine over there. He has a foundry over there. You know that, no? He is making those weapons. The piercing type of weapons. Maybe some horns and all that. God knows. He'll tell them, go work over there in my foundry. It is like that. So don't bother so much, okay? The great workers of distinction, the great philosophers and mystics, great enchanters of Vedic hymns, the people who are really good, not those, the morons that we see in this world. Me. No me over there. No. Don't take credit for anything. If you take credit, you are going to go to hell. Understand that. I hope you got the reference immediately. So don't do that. Okay? And the great followers of the Vedic principles. So there are lots of people in this world who follow the Vedic principles. See, when you follow the Vedic principles, you are not supposed to be saying me all the time. Okay? You are only supposed to follow the Vedic principles, live a very clean life. Whatever that has to happen will happen after that. Those who do me and those who really want to be I, me, myself. See, even if you are the one who is going to be the judge over there, if there is somebody who is doing that I, me, myself, what are you going to do as a judge? Understood? So God as a judge over there, Yamdev, he is definitely going to send them to a different realm altogether. So, what are they saying over here in this verse? When you are a devotee of Sri Krishna, when you have surrendered to him, when you are having a single pointed devotion to him, you go straight to him. And by doing the service of the Lord, See, we have to do service of the Lord. Simple service. Nobody is saying that you have to climb mount, you know. Alright, so now we do the next verse, which is verse 18. Kirata, Hanu, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhira, Sumba, Yavana, members of the Khasa race and even others addicted to sinful acts can be purified by taking shelters of the devotees of the Lord due to his being the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisance unto him. Now, a little bit of an anthropological background, a little bit of history. Okay. There were different regions in this world. There was nothing called India in this world. Okay. There was no demarcation of any territory like that. The whole of this world was divided into small places which had their own tribes. Every place had a tribe. There was a tribal leader. They had their own gods to worship. Most of these tribes you will find were close to water bodies. So where the river is passing, where there are great lakes, so all these people were very close to it. If you go to, say, Egypt, or if you go down the entire track of Africa, you will find that the civilizations existed at the juncture of the Nile. Wherever the Nile flowed, we only know some pyramids of Khufu and all that, you know. But if you go down the Nile, there were lots of places where there are other places which have not even been explored. Nobody has explored them. In a similar fashion, there is an Amazon river in America, South America. Now, this Amazon river is flowing right across the South America. At every place in this Amazon, you will find there were colonies of people. They established their kingdoms over there. There were kings also. They were great. Again, if you come to the Middle East also had rivers over there. I am sure you have heard of the Euphrates and other rivers, right? So wherever the river flowed, you will find civilizations existing. Even in India, similar thing was there. Now current India, past this whole land which was there. So wherever this land was there, they had different religions, they had different followings, they had quite a lot of things were going on. Just one small example I'll tell you. The south of Deccan, that is Deccan Plateau. Today, India can be divided top portion and the bottom portion. And the bottom portion was called the Nagadesh. Nagas. A kind of a tribes which were existing. They had their own kings, they had their own worship. Each of these kings which were there in different places, they had their own systems. And that is the reason why in this scripture it is mentioned that the Kirat Desh, Huna, Andhra, see Andhra is mentioned over here, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhira, Sumba, Yavana, these are tribes and different communities that existed. Now what is mentioned over here in the Srimad Bhagavatam is that even these races which may not be praying to Sri Krishna, across the world also there are races which are not praying to Sri Krishna, but if they were to take shelter as a devotee of the Lord, they just have to think about Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna doesn't mean Sri Krishna, by the way. It is called the ultimate one. The ultimate one. Krishna is a name given by the followers of Krishna. Okay? Those who follow this tradition, they name him Krishna. Krishna means a secret. Secret means don't know. What is the secret? I don't know. And because there is a secret, people don't have any idea. That is why in some religions they call him by different names. Some people call him Bhagwan. Some people call him Father in heaven. Some people call him Ahura Mazda. You can call him by whatever name you want to. Your choice. You can say even T-H-A-T, that. I am that. There is a book, you know. You can call that final one as that also. Because nobody has named him, you can name him. So we say Sri Krishna because we are doing the Bhagavatam. And we are followers of Krishna, that is why. So those who take the shelter of the devotees of the Lord due to their being the supreme power. Now how did this thing work? Think about it. Now some of you are Indians, some of you are foreigners over here. Me, I teach about Krishna. I teach about love and devotion to Krishna. Okay? Now when I am teaching your love and devotion to Krishna, I become the intermediary, isn't it? So becoming the devotee of Krishna. Like in Maharashtra, there is a Mahanubhav sect. Mahanubhav sect, S-E-C-T. Sect is a group of people. Varkaris, they are there. Followers of a certain religion, they are there. Kabir has followers. Guru Nanak has followers. You know, Guru Nanak's followers are called Sikhs, S-I-K-H, Sikh. Jain Munis are there, you know. So all these people, they come under a certain group. The main person over there who has created this group, he is a devotee of the Lord. So through him, you reach the Lord. So this is called the devotion. The devotee of the Lord takes you to Sri Krishna, to the Lord. Like I said, you can call him by any name. So, he says, Sukdev says to Parikshit, that I offer my obeisance to these people who are the gurus, the great masters. You know, like in Maharashtra we have Tukaram Maharaj, Eknath Maharaj we have, Swami Samarth, Swami Ramdas, you know, Kabir we have in the north, and so many people. I mean, there are hundreds and thousands of these great masters. So you follow a master and you reach the ultimate destination. In our case, reaching Sri Krishna. So he says through them they are able to get to the final destination. He is the super soul. The next verse, that is, we are doing verse 19. Sri Krishna is the super soul and the supreme lord of all the self-realized souls. He is the personification of the Vedas, religious scriptures and austerities. He is worshipped by Lord Brahma and Shiva and all those transcendental to all pretensions. Being so revered with awe and veneration, may the Supreme Absolute be pleased with me. So here there is a mention that all the deities, all the gods, which are the created ones, which come under what we say as the Prakriti has created them. Now all these gods that are there, at the time of creation they came into existence, they are a part of this pantheon, this whole thing. They also report to him, they also are subservient to him. They worship him. They are nothing but an extension of his only. So he says, Sri Krishna, who is the super soul, the ultimate one, the Param Atma. Sri Krishna is the Paramatma. He is the supreme lord of the realized souls. All the realized souls go to him. So whoever is realized in this world finally goes to Sri Krishna. He is the personification of the Vedas. See, Vedas are scriptures. Okay? Vedas are nothing but the words which got written down, which came from the mouth of the Lord. They have been there from the beginning of time. They were repeated by Brahmaji to his sons. The Vedas are that way. That is the framework of this existence. So if I want to convert these words into an entity, into a being, the Vedas are Sri Krishna only. He is the one who has given them. Then the religious scriptures and austerities, whatever religious scriptures are there, he is the personification of that. He is the austerities that go along with it. That is, whatever worship that you perform. So anything that you worship finally is the final authority to whom everything goes, right? And Brahmaji and Shiva, they are basically worshipped. They worship this Lord, and everything from their world goes to Sri Krishna. He is having so much of awe and veneration in this world, and that is why he is called the Supreme Absolute. Alright, so we'll do the next verse. We are doing verse 20. May Lord Sri Krishna, who is worshipable Lord of all devotees, the protector and the glory of all kings like Andhaka and Vrishni of the Yadu dynasty, the husband of all goddesses of fortune, the director of all the sacrifices, therefore the leader of all living entities, the controller of all intelligence, the proprietor of all planets, spiritual and material, and the supreme incarnation of the earth, the supreme all in all, be merciful unto me. So Sukdev, before he has started the explanation of this whole Srimad Bhagavatam, he is bowing down to Sri Krishna and saying these words. What are these beautiful words? He is saying that Sri Krishna is the Lord of all these tribes that we mentioned. He is also the person who is the precursor of the Vrishnis, the group of people that he came to be born under. See, like the Yadus we say, no? He was from the Yadu Vansh. When he took birth, he came from the Yadu Vansh, right? So he is also the husband of Lakshmi. He is also the husband of Lakshmi. He is the director of all sacrifices. Whatever sacrifices that you are doing finally end up at his plate only. End of the day, you are only praying to him, nobody else. He is the leader of all living entities. Whatever living entities that are there, he is the super boss of all these entities. The controller of all the intelligence. You may say, oh, I am a very intelligent person. So all the intelligence that is there in you and this whole world that is there, he is the final authority of it. And the proprietor of all the planets, spiritual and material. Now if I say, who owns the moon? You know, na? Who owns the sun? Who owns this universe? Who owns these galaxies? Only one, Sri Krishna. So I think you have understood he is the super boss of all these planets that exist. So he is the controller of intelligence, the proprietor of all planets. Spiritual planet means it. What is the difference between spiritual and material planet? Spiritual planet is the one that we actually go to. Alright? We are going to Kailasha. Right? We are going to Vaikunta. Alright? We are going to Goloka. We are going to the Indraloka. So all these planets that we are talking about, they are called the spiritual planets. Material worldly planets, like you have. The earth is a material worldly planet. The moon is also part of it. I can't call it a planet, but it is there. So that is there. Then the Mars, the Saturn, every other planet that is there, they are called material worldly planets. Can I see the material worldly planets? Yes, of course. I can actually physically see them in a telescope. I can say, yeah, I can see the moon. I can see this. I can see it. How many things you can see? Many things. This whole, the whole of this Brahman can be seen. So physically what you can see, feel, touch and go over there. You can travel. You can tell Elon Musk to put you on his, in his rocket and send you to Mars also. That's a physical planet. Spiritual planets are only in the form of, they're physically not there, but they are there in a subtle way. Again, great friends of ours will say, oh, that means they are in the next dimension. No. So you don't have to jump dimensions. Otherwise, tomorrow you will say, oh, no, I have seen that movie. I want to jump dimensions. Like that. Thanos. No. It is not Thanos story. These are in the subtle plane. The subtle planes are here also. Here. Right here. Many a times when I go on my tours, I tell people, this is called the doorway of the sun. This is called the doorway of the moon. They will ask me this question. What do you mean by that? So there are some places in this world which are exits to another domain. They are called portals in the human way. They are called portals. So the portals are real. It's not that they are fake. So right here in this world also we have portals. We can enter a new dimension. Yeah, when I say dimension, doesn't mean that dimension, okay? Otherwise you'll think of all those, Avenger movies. No, nothing like that. This is different. Spiritual worlds. I hope you get it. And he is also the supreme incarnation on earth. So even on this earth, Sri Krishna takes an incarnation. When does he take an incarnation? Sir, he is always there. There isn't a single moment in time he doesn't exist. He is always around. Except that you don't know. You are still thinking Krishna is going to be, bent in three places and, he is going to run around trees and all the gopis are there and then there is a flute and all that. No. Why will Sri Krishna come with a flute today? Don't know that. What is he going to come with? Why are you bothered? Like I said today, Shiva can't be seen walking down the street, in his original avatar. Can you? No. He has to be dressed in a different way. So God can be experienced in a different way. So Sri Krishna comes to this earth in a different way. And he says all these things so that he says to Sri Krishna, be merciful to us. I am praising you so that please kindly shower your mercy on me. Sukdev is saying these words because Parikshit has asked him question about Sri Krishna. So we have come to the end of verse 20 and we will stop over here for today.
Recording stopped.